everybody. Welcome back to Kruse Control. It is Wednesday, October 25th, 2023. Welcome to Kruse Control, the home of entertainment news. I am your host, as always, Brian Kruse. Happy hump day, everybody. Happy humping it up day. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. Thank you all for being here on Kruse Control, the home of entertainment news. We're talking about some news. We're talking about some entertainment stuff, some fun stuff, some pop culture stuff. We're having a great time tonight because there's a lot going on in the news and can't wait to discuss it all with you. And joining me back, as always, is my lovely co-host, Miss Sabrina Vittori. Sabrina, welcome back to Kruse Control. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing great. How's your week been so far?
My week has been busy. I've had a bit busy week. My boss has been out sick all week, so I've been doing extra work at the office. And I made it in the nick of time tonight. So I'm happy. That's it. Everything's great.
You made it. It's good. I'm happy to have you back here. I know. Happy you're feeling better. Things are going well. And,
thank you, GR.
Love to see you back. Yeah. Also joining us back on Kruse Control, it's Wednesday, and of course, it wouldn't be a Wednesday without I'm going to call him our comic mastermind himself, Mr. Sean Sutherland. Sean, welcome back to Kruse Control, man. How you doing? Happy hump day.
Happy hump day, Brian. Happy to be here. Glad to be here, as always. You know, if it's Wednesday, you know, it's got to be Kruse Control. So happy to be here and looking forward to tear into the news with the regular Wednesday crew here.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Happy to have you here. You been doing well though? Have a good weekend?
Oh, I just drank a bunch of Mountain Dew Baja Blast to get myself up and ready.
What the fuck is that?
You know what that is?
Do you not know what Baja Blast is?
No.
It's the best damn thing in the world.
Okay,
it's
all right.
Exclusive Mountain Dew that you can only get. Well, I think grocery stores had it for a little bit, but only at Taco Bell. So there you go. Yeah.
There you go. Well, it's time for a little bit of sugar rush tonight because we got to get that energy going. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We're having a great time. And we also have backups because it wouldn't be Wednesday either without our resident intellectual himself looking fucking sharp tonight, Mr. Mike Casey. How you doing, Mike? Welcome back to Kruse Control.
Thank you, Brian. A hump, burning hump. It's Wednesday. I took a cue from Sean. He had his Baja Blast, so I said, you know what? He's sipping on that lean. I better grab that bottle of NyQuil.
Oh, so my God.
I went for it. We're going to have a fun time tonight, guys. Hi, Ryan. Hey, Panico. Hey, Goldie. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Queen.
Tracy. Thanks for joining us in the chat, guys. It's going to be a good time tonight.
Hi, Queen.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. I appreciate having you back here, Mike. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you all being here, Queen. Everybody out there. It sounds like some crazy stuff's going on with Goldie and Ryan. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Apparently, Ryan got Goldie pregnant. Apparently, that's what I'm getting.
Congratulations, guys!
Did not see
wow.
that.
Congratulations!
I can't wait to throw your baby shower.
Yeah. And there's one more person joining us back because, you know, he just can't get enough attention and close-up. So welcome back to Kruse Control, everybody. The Pep Star himself, Peppy. Welcome back to Kruse Control, Peps. How you doing?
Hey, everybody. The Pep Star is here for his close-up. Come on, bring the camera a little bit closer. So happy to be back in the studio. Now, on a serious note, to all the cats of the world, I've heard you, and I understand you. Some of my words may have been hurtful, but the Pep Star does not hate cats at all. I need to clear this whole situation up. So I'm going out to the streets to find the top cat. And hopefully, we'll be able to rectify what the Pep Star said. I'm bringing a camera crew and I'm documenting the whole thing. I need to do this, folks. I will make this right. Anywho, we've got a lot to talk about. So until then, Sabrina, Sean, and Mike, let's go to work.
Oh, thank you, Peppy.
Thanks, Peps. Yeah, happy to have you back.
Wow. I got a little pep shine on me. That's nice.
Yeah.
He knows who I am.
He knows you're right.
Oh my
Very
God.
quickly, just so everyone knows, then Rachel, Mimi is not, she's camera shy. She's not into it. She's very happy. Very happy.
Yeah, she's okay where she's at. She might pop in one time. Maybe she'll get the nerves, but Peppy is, you know, he calls himself the Pep Star for a reason. He loves to be on camera. But again, it wouldn't be a hump day, everybody, unless we had some breaking news. Let's get very first thing I want to dive into is I want to talk about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 2 because, whoa, it's doing something weird. I think, you know,
That's a callback. They call that a callback.
That's some double breaking news. That's what that is. It's double breaking news. But Dead Reckoning 2 has been pushed. So if you're excited about the new Tom Cruise movie coming out, the part 2, you saw the first part, you want to see that second part, you gotta wait another year, everybody. Because it was supposed to come out June 28th, 2024, but now it's been pushed to May 23rd, 2025. And because, well, they took a little time off to promote the first half. And during that time, there was a writer's strike. An actor strike now still happening, so they never finished the second part, and they have a lot more shooting because of that. Paramount is pushing it a year. And this happens all the time. I've been talking about this as an ongoing theme since the strikes have been going down. So, I mean, to me, this is just what's going on. I mean, there's no way of stopping this machine because they need to get the products done. They have no actors right now. They have no crew. They have writers, but they don't have everybody there, so they can't bring this out right now. So we gotta wait a little bit longer for this project. We don't have to wait any longer for Green Day because Green Day is coming back with a new album in January. That's right, their new album's coming out. It's called Saviors. It drops January 19th, 2024, and they released their first single, The American Dream Is Killing Me. And now they said we're going on tour. We're going on tour with the Smashing Pumpkins, with Rancid, and the Linda Lindas. And they said it's going to be starting next year. They haven't said exactly where they're going to be and when they're going, but they just announced the tour. It's happening with the new album coming out. So if you're excited about Green Day, you're getting a lot more coming very soon in the future. And somebody else making a comeback is Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Because Lara Croft, which again, video game character, is getting a TV show on Netflix.
Oh, Christ.
And it's an animated show, though. Animated, Sabrina. And it's by the same people. They're Powerhouse Productions. They did Castlevania. They did Masters of the Universe. And then, you know what, Sean knows these guys really good. Yeah, they're animators. They're awesome, Sean. And this is going to be going, like, they haven't so many episodes, but they said that they've been developing since 2021, and now it's officially going to be released in 2024. So we'll have to wait for more information, but it's coming. If you're a fan of those other productions, you're probably going to love this too. And if you're a fan of The Rock, you're probably happy he's getting some redemption about his skin tone for his wax figure, because we talked about this yesterday, and it came out today that, the museum in France came out in Paris, and they said, okay, we understand, it's really hard to paint on wax figurines. So we put The Rock in some white light, and he just looked a little bit too pale to us. So we understand what The Rock's concern was. They didn't look like him. So there's a picture of him making The Rock a little bit more tan, a little darker skin tone, and they might change his shirt too. They haven't said that for sure, but they said they can't wait for The Rock to come have a drink with his wax figurine, and he's going to look like the people's champion. They said, long live Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So rectifying that right now, but also long live Ted Lasso, because Ted Lasso is also bringing Barbies out, everybody. That's right. Barbie forms. Mattel is like, let's do Ted Lasso Barbie. So you got Ted Lasso, you got Keely, you got Rebecca. There's some images of them right now. You can buy these right now.
Oh my God.
This is only where it begins. I feel like Mattel is just looking at ways of making money. And of course, it's such a huge franchise. And for me, I'm just like, but I mean, Barbies, I feel like they look great though. They look like themselves.
What is it, Funko Pops now?
I mean, Funko Pops, I think they have Funko Pops too, Sabrina. I think they do.
No, they do. I own them. But I'm saying it's weird that Barbie is doing specialized things like this.
I know.
Great ass.
And Queen, great ass.
Oh my God, Mike.
And Queen used to cosplay as Lara Croft, so she's probably excited about that Lara Croft one. But if you love Barbie, you're going to get some Barbie, Ted Lasso. I mean, you might be the perfect storm for you. But something that might be the perfect storm for me, it's a new movie, Zombie Plane, that's in development. I mean, Zombie Plane. Now, I just had to talk about this because you got Chuck Norris.
Is that Vanilla Ice?
Yeah, Vanilla Ice.
Oh, shit.
And you also have Australian singer turned actress Sophie Monk. Now, what is this about? Well, it's an action comedy, and it centers around a secret government organization that recruits celebrities to be undercover agents who must bond together to save humanity from an imminent zombie attack.
Oh, wow.
And Chuck Norris is Commander Chuck Norris in this. He plays himself, except he's been trained for a long time. He's going to take down these zombies, and he actually trained Vanilla Ice. And Vanilla Ice is like apparently a super freaking commando too. And they get together to try to stop these zombie attacks. So this is going down, and they're excited about. There's going to be a 90s bebop type soundtrack. Vanilla Ice will actually have music on this as well. And there'll be a lot of cameos coming out in this movie. So they said like for 90s people, early 2000s, there'd be a lot of those actors popping in just for a little cameo. So little moments in time. So zombies on a plane. That's what I was wondering, but it just says like a zombie invasion. So I don't know why it's called Zombie Plane. It's a very weird name, but there must be zombies on a plane. Come on, there has to be, right? It has to be.
That's why it's named that, for sure.
That's right. There has to be. Get these motherfucking zombies off these motherfucking planes. Just like Apple TV Plus, get your fucking get off your high horse, man. Get off your high horse because they're raising their prices again now. And
For fuck's sake.
And they're going up 43%. 43%. So right now, if you're paying $6.99, it's going up to $9.99 a month. And if you have an annual subscription from $69 a year, it's going to $99 a year. If you have Apple TV Plus News, that's going up too from $9.99 to $12.99. If you have Apple Arcade, which is a fucking great thing, if you have that, you can watch all these play these video games. I know my niece and my nephew play them all the time. That's going from $4.99 to $6.99. And if you have Apple One bundles, they're going up as well from $16.95 to $19.95 for the individual, and for the family plan, it's going up from $22.90 up to $25.95. And this is happening today. It started today. So if you're signing up today, these prices are out there right now. Now, if you have an annual subscription or you have other subscriptions, they'll go the next time your plan renews. And Apple is like, fuck you guys. Like, we're going to raise our prices during all this. And how can zombies fly, Queen? You're right. How can zombies fly? But also, how can we not have a deal yet? Because we don't have a deal yet for AMPTP and SAG-AFTRA. Now, they met yesterday. They were supposed to meet today, and it didn't happen. Now, SAG-AFTRA said they needed more time to go over the deal. That's why they didn't meet today. We found out about this right before we went live, and so they took the whole day to talk about it amongst themselves, go over the numbers, figure it out, and see if they can get a deal reached this week. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. They said there's some hard feelings in the room right now. Insiders that have been there said that, well, they called it a flop, kind of. I guess SAG was not exactly stoked about the offer. And that comes down to the residuals again. The biggest thing is residuals. Now, apparently AMPTP loves that whole 57 cent type world. We'll take a portion of your subscription prices and they'll add that to like the residual market. But they didn't like the 57 cents apparently because they offered them something else. They're not saying what that number is, but the idea would be that, SAG-AFTRA would get paid a percentage of every subscription from a membership. So you pay $19.95, SAG wants 57 cents of that. They don't like that. But Mike, they're better about this though too, Mike, because they did say that they like this better than the 1% of their gross income. So they don't want to give their gross income. And then SAG said 2% at one point. They went to 1%. They'd rather give like a portion of their subscription fees to the SAG-AFTRA in order to pay for residuals. So they're moving. We'll find out. I'm shocked about that they actually are going to go for this, but I guess they don't want to give up like a percentage of all of their gross income. And I feel like that's easier to find out. Like they might be able to hide how many subscriptions they have, and they might be able to like fuck the union over, I think, by this route. So
it's got to be that. What else could it be, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. Solidarity today, solidarity tomorrow. Keep that union strong. That's what Rachel said. Agreed. Keep that union strong and give us some hot takes.
Oh.
All right, everybody, we're going to dive into some hot takes. It's time for everybody to get that minute on the clock, have a good time, talk about everything we've just talked about, and actually have our moment in the sun to talk about the whole projects or all the news, breaking news we were talking about today. So let's dive in one by one. Everybody gets a time. I know that Brady Bunch shot. Yeah, Brady Bunch shot. You're right. I like that, Queen. You're right. Let's go to Mike first. Mike, give us your hot take on the breaking news today. Get ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, I said I was Alice, but Pepe is Alice. Alice is the middle spot where Pepe
That's
just
true. It's
loves
true.
it.
Yeah, Pepe
He's
loves
the
it. He
one
loves
that
that.
holds our whole bunch together, yeah.
All right, you ready, Mike?
Let's do it. Let's do it, Brian.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Come
Hot
on,
take.
3, 2, 1. Hot take. Come on, get it.
All right. I don't remember this off the top of my head, so I'm going down the list and I'm trying to work for time. Cheating. Mission Impossible. Hey, if you push it for a year, you're going to get hemorrhoids, guys, so be careful.
Oh my God.
I don't like scatological humor, but okay.
Starting off strong, Mike.
Green Day. Apparently, this is a psychological term. Like people that are in psychological treatment, you've got a yellow day or a blue day. That's a sad day, but a green day is a good day. That's something I learned. Hey, welcome back, guys. Tomb Raider. Why not before now? Like that. This is perfect for a cartoon. Like give it to a good house like that. Get some anime shit going down. We want some Lara Croft together. Did that explode? Zombie playing Chuck Norris, Vanilla Ice. Let's get everybody else from the 90s. Let's get Steve Urkel. I'm looking for Uncle Jesse. Like bring everybody into the party here. Apple TV, get lost. $69 a year where it's at. Like 99 is crazy. SAG-AFTRA. I don't know. I don't have a good take. Wait. Do we pump up? Am I having gift problems here?
Something
happened. Your minute's up, motherfucker.
Okay, so let me start talking.
I'll give you
about
more time.
Steve
This is
Urkel
bonus time.
Let's
time,
start talking
Mike.
about other 1990s icons, which are going to be your basic Jaleel White, your other people that wear suspenders and make mistakes and wonder if it's my time is up.
Yeah, something weird happened. But yeah, Mike, I like your takes.
Yeah, classy.
Very classy. But
No, the suit is classy.
yeah, the suit's classy. You're
it's
sucking up.
kinda.
I like it. I like it. All right, Sabrina, you ready for your hot takes?
I guess.
Okay, here we go. Going live in 3, 2, 1. Hot takes. Here we go.
Okay, so the SAG-AFTRA situation, I don't think it's a bad sign that they didn't negotiate today. Like, I feel like they're having their lawyers look over everything, and everyone really wants this to end. So I think that is not necessarily a bad sign. There's a lot of murmurs that this is going to end this week, and I really hope it will. If not, I'm afraid that I think it's gonna fuck us till the new year. Okay, so the Apple increase. 40%. Fuck you. For 57 cents, you're making us pay 47% more. Hard pass. You're an asshole. One of the richest companies in the fucking world. So stupid. Ted Lasso Barbies? What? Why? No, that's Funko Pop's thing. It's not Barbie's thing. Mattel, get off the fucking train. Zombie Plane. Sounds terrible. Looks terrible. Don't want anything to do with it. Although Vanilla Ice was good in that Adam Sandler movie. The Rock Swag figure was too light. Yeah, welcome to Mookie Betts bobblehead. Also, fucking stupid. Tomb Raider cartoon sounds good. And Green Day, awesome. I love that. Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, getting old. Getting old, bro. Don't do it too much.
Dun, dun, dun,
Did I do
dun, 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 dun. Made it.
Did I do it?
Hey, Tom Cruise is not getting old. Come on, he's still Tom Cruise.
By the way, I don't think I've met you. Thank you for tuning in, bro. I think it's the first time I've seen you here. Me personally.
Around.
That's
To
what
do
shit
what?
talking 30 seconds. A lot of shit talking and
So,
hot
I
takes.
could be the resident hater if I want to be.
It goes by very fast. Goes by very fast. But we can't forget. We can't forget about Sean Sutherland, everybody. So, Sean, are you ready for your hot takes?
Yeah,
Here we go. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hot takes.
Don't give a shit about Mission Impossible. Although I did see a funny clip of the guy that shot that woman on Rust pull a gun on Henry Cavill, and I was like, oh, whoops. So he's got a history of doing that. Green Day going back to tour. I don't care about that, but Rancid going on tour, I would fucking show up anywhere for that. Even if it's in Maine, I'd be happy to see that. Tomb Raider series coming. I'm going to call out Sabrina because when you announced it, she said,
Because I thought it was going to be live action.
No, listen. Tomb Raider is a great character done dirty by the studios, by people exploiting her to be not what she's supposed to be. So let her have her time in the sun, and that I'm not going to fucking get through it, and I'm freaking out. The Rock, I figured, yeah, too white, too pasty. Ted Lasso Barbie dolls, I agree. I think it's a little too late in the game to be jumping on the Pops train. Zombie Plane, that's going to suck. Apple TV, go fuck yourself.
I don't know what you made it. Woo!
Whatever.
Fuck you guys. By the way, Ryan said I had my own Funko Pop, and I do. There it is. That's me.
What?
That's my own Funko Pop, Sabrina.
I just want to say one thing though. Zombie Plane looks hilarious, everybody. I know viewers some hate on Zombie Plane, but come on, it's like all the 90s nostalgia. You got Chuck Norris in there. Come on.
Hard pass.
Nobody's Commander
Look,
Chuck Norris.
I love what's his name? Oh my God, Samuel L. Jackson. I didn't see snakes on the plane, so I'm not gonna see zombies on a plane. Okay, not gonna happen.
If you take the premise of snakes on a plane but make it about zombies on the plane, that could work. But I don't know. I see Chuck Norris's heavily scarred visage. Obviously, the guy's got Botox a couple times, a couple little facelifts or whatever. I just can't. I don't know. I can't. It's hard to see it now. You know, the Chuck Norris of my childhood was Sidekicks Chuck Norris.
Sidekick.
There's a deep cut for you.
Very good point. Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there's Mimi and Peppy. See, that's Peppy, and then that's Mimi. Mimi's in there.
Is perfect.
She's in there.
Wow.
That's Mimi and Peppy.
Oh, the Hollywood Funko store. That's where you got that. That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, I'll make you one, baby.
You can do them online now too if you want. You can make them online. I know they had that whole thing that came forward, but I don't know if it's going to be as good as going in store and actually making it.
I
But
totally need more shit on my shelf. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think you do. I think you totally do.
Like you better looking shit, Sean.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there you go.
Like, it's not as awesome and Brian has one too. Brian, show him your Funko Pop.
Well, my guy's right here. He's
I made
chilling.
one
Your
for
light under a bushel, Brian.
There's Brian looking at his headphones. He used to have a coffee, but Brian lost it because he's a jerk.
Fuck you, that's Henry Cavill. That ain't you, Brian.
That's Brian all day.
Hey, leave him alone.
You opened it up? What
Here's
the fuck?
Rivers.
Yeah, mine's in my box.
I
but-
get
my hash pipe.
I have like a million of them behind me. They're just like
No,
Yeah.
that's your hash pipe.
Yeah. Well, anyways, a lot of breaking news going down, everybody. Happy you're here to check it out with us. Very excited about that. But we got a lot to talk about. So now it's time to get into it.
Oh, yeah!
Let's get into it, everybody. I want to start off talking about Spider-Man because they made it official. Tom Holland's
Great
coming back.
pick.
Zendaya's coming back. And also John Watts are coming back. So they're all coming back for Spider-Man 4. Now, back in
is great.
December, it's great news. It's great news. So they talked about before, there were rumors about he's going to sign on for 4 movies. I think that's true because also rumors are saying that Tom Holland will be the Spider-Man moving forward for the MCU as we talked about last week. We're combining all these universes to the new Earth they're talking about, and they're going to save his Spider-Man. But regardless, you're getting a Spider-Man 4. It's supposed to be the Spider-Man in the streets, the different kind of Spider-Man we've seen before of Tom Holland's because he doesn't have all his friends anymore. Zendaya doesn't know who he is, and nobody knows who he is. It's a whole new thing after the events of No Way Home. And for me, I think it's pretty exciting. I love the idea of the whole Daredevil crossover people have been talking about online, that maybe he gets down with Daredevil and then Kingpin gets involved because Kingpin and Spider-Man have a great dynamic. I would love to see D'Onofrio and Tom Holland face to face, fighting it out and him just fucking, throwing Spider-Man across the street and they're punching each other. I want to see it. I want to see it. I've been wanting to see Kingpin with Spider-Man for a long time on the big screen. I think it's time, but it's huge. Kevin Feige was talking about this and Amy Pascal back when they were doing No Way Home press. And they said there were early developments back then, but now they're saying they're going to start filming in 2024. End of the year, they're probably, it just depends on, the strikes and stuff, but mid to end of the year, they'll start filming. And you're going to get some Tom Holland Spider-Man coming back, kicking ass. Is Spider-Man going to become homeless? Well, he kind of is. I mean, he's got he's living in like the apartment in was it not Tom Holland? So many Spider-Men. Tobey Maguire's universe. It kind of looks like that again. He's going back to that world, be living in a one-bedroom, like a studio apartment, and no one knows who he is. He's going back to the streets.
Well, then Aunt May died, right? In the last one,
and she died because he needed to have that moment, Uncle Ben moment, But I hope they go with the Daredevil route. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I want to just speculate. So we know this is happening. We're probably excited about it, but what do we think will be this plot of Spider-Man 4? We know that he's not homeless, but he's out in the streets. He's like that street level superhero again. But where do they go with this? What do you think, Sean? Where do they go with this? Where is this new Spider-Man movie we're gonna get? Spider-Man 4. Do you think he's here for actually 4 movies right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a fantastic job with the character. I think especially when you look at how his introduction into the MCU was handled, it was a character that was given a lot of room to breathe and kind of come into his own, and he's done fantastic at it. I think giving him the mentor and taking away the mentor of Tony Stark was really great. I think a Spider-Man that's more grounded, akin to the Raimi stuff, I think could be probably a much better approach to him. As someone, I enjoyed all the Spider-Man movies, but I definitely felt like things just got ramped up so quickly because he had to play catch up to the rest of where the MCU was. And yes, we know that the next couple years are all multiverse and Kang this and Kang that. I would actually like to see kind of Spider-Man stay on the sidelines of this. Really just becoming and behaving more as that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I think battling Kingpin makes a lot of sense, especially because a lot of speculation about Vincent D'Onofrio and what they're doing with Daredevil. Obviously, that got rebooted. So, I'm with you, Brian. Like, I would love to see Spider-Man and Kingpin duke it out. It would, Spider-Man 94 vibes. That animated.
Yeah.
Nice to relive that. But yeah, I think ground him a little bit, keep him kind of in the New York kind of scene, and keep it closer maybe to even taking some stabs at the plot of the video game which just came out too. I think that's a rife field of inspiration to pull from as well.
Well, that's a whole
That's
thing
it.
too. They were talking about how the video games are doing better Spider-Man movies than what they've made. People have been talking about that online too. Like they should take more inspiration from the video games. And I think that's kind of, it's like they get to have free reign though and do whatever they want with them. And then with all these studio heads and stuff and Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal and like Sony and Marvel, like there's a lot more red tape that you can't just have as much fun as you can in the video game world, I think. But I think they should have inspiration from that. Just like Marvel's using comic books more than they were before, back in before they weren't using comics at all. Now they seem to be going into that material more and more and more, which I think is great. That's where they should be going with that. Sabrina, what do you think? Are you excited about this? Do you think this makes sense? This storyline, the plot? What do you think?
I mean, I do also like him playing Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield was my favorite Spider-Man previously, which I know is unpopular. And I also really love the Miles Morales situation of the Into the Spider-Verse worlds. I think that the last movie was like very successful for me because it was really cool to see him interact with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and I think it was super fun. And I got a dog. I got a dog.
Mimi.
She also really likes Tom Holland. I think he does a great job. I think Zendaya is great. Like I'm super into it. I'm very excited that, especially Rachel mentioned earlier in the chat, like he's back from his pseudo retirement, which I think is pretty fucking funny. So yeah, I just feel like it's a good move on Marvel's part. And Rachel also said another nod to Rachel. Spider-Man is the most solid situation going on for Marvel right now. So they should absolutely try to capitalize on that because the rest of the shit that they're putting out is just that shit. Okay. So absolutely. I'm into it. 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. 1 paw up for Mimi. We're in.
Well, No Way Home did so well, Sabrina. It really
Fuck
did.
you, Goldie. Yes, it's sponsored by the ASPCA, asshole.
But I mean, Spider-Man did so well. So I mean, like for them to not take time with this franchise and do it right and like really give him his own opportunity, I think would be a shame on Marvel's part because we do love Spider-Man. We love Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and people have fucking like just love the dynamic in his heart and his soul that he's brought to this franchise. And I agree with Sean too. I think that that the Kingpin stuff could be really cool. Take us back to the '90s a little bit, right? Bring that storyline. Is there a storyline before we move on, Sean, that you think that if it's not the Daredevil thing from the comics that they could actually attack and make great on the big screen, not Spider-Man's like completely separate?
Honestly, it's been a dream of mine to see the Clone Saga get approached in a movie because a lot of people feel that the Marvel themselves fucked up and really kind of fumbled the bag on that. The One More Day storyline is also another thing that is very polarizing.
I'm going to put her out.
Okay. Is very polarizing of the storyline. You're good. You're on mute now. One More Day. I am actually a really big. If you give me a quick second here.
Go for it.
One of my favorite stories that Spider-Man did in a long. Well, I can't remember what year this was. 1 second. 2007. So this is a series called Spider-Man Reign. And it is basically about an old Spider-Man, old Peter Parker. He's essentially retired as Spider-Man, and he's living in still in New York, but essentially it's been kind of taken over by this authoritarian kind of police state. And very slowly but surely, he is kind of being pulled back into being Spider-Man and encountering a lot of his old enemies and nemesi. And it's really good. It's beautifully done by Carr Andrews, who is a really great guy as well. But yeah, check out Spider-Man Reign. So Clone Wars, One More Day, Spider-Man Reign. I'm all for it. They probably won't do that. I think the biggest leap would be introducing Miles at this point. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do it, but I think if they did, it would be like, okay, you're really going for it here.
Would that be a multiverse scenario, Sean? Or
it could be because actually, Peter and Miles actually have some really great scenes together in the Secret Wars book as that showed up. So he's got to have somebody to play off of. Why not someone that's a little younger than him? I think it would also kind of force Tom Holland to kind of grow up and start kind of taking it a little bit more seriously and whatnot. We've seen the playfulness side of Spider-Man, sure, and
That's interesting. What does the Tom Holland Spider-Man look like when he's forced to like accept a little bit more responsibility? Like that's kind of an interesting question.
Give him a Padawan, right? It's not something we've typically got to see in Spider-Man before, and it would be interesting to see it. So yeah, I don't think they'll do it. You never know, but
they did say though that they are going to do Miles Morales. They actually did say that too. Amy Pascal said that not too long ago that she was planning on a Miles Morales movie of some sort, bringing him into live action. Then the whole question was that, like, the actual actor who's playing the voice, could he play him? He's a little bit older, so maybe not. They probably have to recast him. But maybe that's the idea. Maybe you bring him in. Maybe they bring the Venom crossover. We finally get maybe somewhere down that line, because if he is going to do it, if Tom Holland's going to do 3 more Spider-Man movies and he's going to do Secret Wars on top of that, maybe there's room for Venom eventually. I don't know. Mike, what do you think? Could you see that happening as a plot point moving forward? Or do you think that they might go something more safe and not the alien route?
Oh, that cold Spider-Man rain. That was Axl Rose for you, a little Guns N' Roses Spider-Man action.
Great job.
Spider-Man,
Mike.
Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Kin. I'm Spider-Kin. These are the subreddits that I like to explore on the weekend because I'm Spider-Kin like that. Let's not get into that. Brian, I have a question for you, because what I heard of before was regarding Spider-Man 4 was some a couple of vibrations that Sam Raimi was actually going to be involved with bringing back maybe some old storylines. And this does, when you say Spider-Man 4, that does not seem like what you're talking about. Something that
it takes your mind. Yeah, you're taking your mind to the Tobey Maguire universe, because that was something that's been rumored too, that they're going to go that route, and the Sam Raimi would come back, and they were talking about bringing in, Vulture and trying to do it with, because that whole plot normally was supposed to be.
These were ideas that he was floating around with 15 years ago.
Malkovich was supposed to play Vulture. Mm-hmm. But they said Spider-Man 4, and I think people were getting excited about that first, but then this is the 4th Tom Holland movie.
So does that mean that there's still potentially other development talks happening, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard multiple times that Tobey Maguire has said, I want to come back, and he wants to do more. It's just a phone call away. And so if he's open to it, and I know Sam Raimi said something about he'd be open to it too, but they got their money in this franchise. I don't know if they would dive into that, really. I feel like they won't, but then I like the idea, was it Rain, Sean, you were saying, is like an older Spider-Man? So maybe that would be the perfect way to go with him, Then you use Tobey Maguire and have him come back.
That would be interesting.
You do this again?
Take a Logan approach to Spider-Man. That might be interesting. No, I don't know.
Is that something that could ever work with the Spider-Man character, Sean? Or do you think that's just antithetical to what his youthful kind of Spidey vibe is about?
No, I think comic book characters, especially when you take a look at some of the, Marvel used to call it the Alterniverse. DC used to call it Elseworlds, but these characters are meant to be interpreted in different ways because they are, living, breathing ideas, right? You can do whatever you want with them essentially in order to kind of turn them into, whatever suits the story. So I wouldn't say that anything is kind of outside the realm. I think it's what and how it plays into Marvel Cinematic Universe's other plans. I do think it's funny that we've gotten so many kind of, we have 2 Venom movies, and there's no real clear path how the hell these 2 characters are ever going to intertwine.
Honestly.
Let alone Morbius showing up with the Vulture for some reason. And, we got a tease of Scorpion, and we know Bad Bunny is coming out with a movie.
They canceled that. They canceled that one.
Thank God.
Yep, they canceled the Bad Bunny one. They were very quiet about it. They just took it off the slate, and then he didn't say anything about it. And then recently, he just made a statement about it. It fell through. Good Bunny. Good Bunny.
It didn't make any fucking sense. El Diablo is not a character, especially from the Marvel, from the Spider-Man verse, with a huge backstory that would take this big, a whole movie to give up. I think we'll have to see what Craven does.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that hasn't been canceled yet, right?
Nope, not yet.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
done. It's in the can. It's in the can. It's coming out
Isn't
in November.
isn't that actor?
Aaron
The one that
Johnson.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Johnson.
yeah, he
Kick-Ass.
played but he also played the speedster. What's his name?
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quickster. Yeah,
Yeah.
Quicksilver.
Give that guy all the characters. I think he's a fantastic actor.
He's great.
He's he's up for Bond too, isn't he? That guy's popping
Yeah, well,
off right now.
That was a
Oh,
rumor, but they just came forward like with the whole
said
Bond
no.
franchise and said they have
I'm sorry.
nobody in mind right now. They said they're so far out from that's why they're doing that reality show, the Bond reality show. You win $1 million, become the next Bond agent.
Oh.
That's coming on Amazon because Amazon bought MGM, and so anything that's and Bond now is Amazon technically. They spent like $1 billion on the Bond franchise, but all the executives said we're not even close to a Bond. Like they're waiting to
Hashtag
figure it out
Idris Elba, bitches.
how Bond works
The
in
Bond
nowadays
franchise
society.
is not worth $1 billion. It's not. It is old
I know.
as shit. Like they're gonna need to breathe all kinds of life into it if they
But
want
that's
to.
a lot of staying power, Mike. Like, I mean, it's like from the dawn of time.
I think we're growing up as a society.
Well, we are. And I don't think we are. No one's growing up.
Well, maybe
as a
Bond could
society.
be an old man.
You're giving humanity too much credit.
Taken take with Bond, and he could be an old ass man.
You're giving Gen Z too little credit, Sabrina. I think they want something different. I think they want a new masculinity. I think they want this, which is way better than Bond could ever be.
Amen.
And Mike, but do they?
Mike
Kruse
is
Control.
too, baby. Woo!
Mike, do they want new? Do they want new? Like they want new Star Wars franchise based off the original? People want that because that's the question being thrown out there right now by Matthew Vaughn. Because Matthew Vaughn, I feel like he's in the news all the time now. I feel like this guy's got nothing else. He's just doing interviews. Well, Argyle's coming out, which he directed, so that's probably why he's in the news more and more and more. But he was talking in interviews recently, talking about Star Wars and how he would love to direct a Star Wars movie. And of course, Matthew Vaughn from, like I said, Argyle's coming out, but he did X-Men First Class. Last week we were talking about him and X-Men Last Stand, where they tried to screw Halle Berry out of her contract. They lied to her about about the script, saying she should be in it more. Like he's an influential director. He's great too. He's an awesome guy. And he was like, yeah, if they ever offered me, like most people would be scared about that, but I would do it in a heartbeat. He goes, the big thing is that he was saying about Disney is they forgot what Star Wars is. For him, he said it's about the Skywalkers. That was our discussion in a second, but he says about the Skywalkers and Disney had forgotten about them. And he said the best idea is to reboot it and recast Luke Skywalker, recast Han Solo, recast everybody, Leia, make them all come back, do the whole thing over again, make it more for the new generation. And he said if it's good enough, then the older generation will forgive you and they will enjoy it and they will find love for the franchise and this new breath of life. And then you can focus on, find love. Then you can focus on the Star Wars main characters again. And that's what he was saying. But Kathleen Kennedy said she would never do this. So I don't think this is ever going to be a thing that's going to come to fruition. She said after Han Solo did so bad, the Solo spinoff, she said there's no way they're going to try to reboot anybody again and recast. She said they recast it with Enric. It was Enric, Enric, that actor to be Han Solo, and it just bombed really bad. And they had to do massive reshoots with Ron Howard, and they don't want to touch it again. They'd rather do spinoffs.
Donald Glover was not Donald Glover.
And they argued Donald Glover's getting his own spinoff as Lando. That's happening.
Yeah, he was a great Lando Calrissian, right? Like
he's
so.
getting his own spinoff.
Did they decide if it's going to be a series or a movie yet?
It's going to be a movie now. It was going to be a series, and they moved it to a movie. Yeah. So they're changing that all. They're changing the whole dynamic over there because they're not trying to make as much series for Disney Plus. So they should do a time travel story. That's what Richard Tracy said. That could be fun. That could be really fun. I mean, but the thing is, they don't want to touch this. Disney doesn't want to touch it. They know it bombed before, and they try to reboot these characters. But would this even work? Would we want to see this? I feel like the new franchise, the sequel series, they kind of, I mean, with Force Awakens, it was kind of like a soft reboot of A New Hope in a lot of ways. So what do you think about this, Mike? Do you think that you would touch the Skywalker franchise? Would you reboot and rechange and recast these characters? It could help this prequel series, but do you think that's a way that Disney could, bring some fresh life into Star Wars?
I'm so happy that you went to me first for this, Brian, because honestly,
Of course.
we often talk about stale IP-ness on this show, and I think that's
All the time.
apropos
Oh,
discussion.
that's a new shirt. Stale eye penis.
Because it's just it's just executives trying to make money the easy way rather than to make money the daring way and taking risks. But also, I think just as someone who's been around a lot of creative people and has had discussions with a lot of creative people. I think that you guys aren't seeing the great dance that Sabrina's doing right now. Yoda looks great. Sabrina looks like she's killing.
What do you got there, Sabrina? What do you got? Where's your
No,
dad?
I can't do I was playing off Yoda. I can't do it now.
You need that reference.
She'll
I get it.
She'll
Yeah.
bring it back when you have
Bring
an
it back.
opportunity. There we go.
Not as good. I was mirroring him. We were doing it. It was very good.
You're doing it better. What I was trying to say is that I think that that the large part of art before it gets taken away by the muse and creates a new paradigm is imitation. I think that that's the best way for anybody out there. If there's young people watching, if there's old people watching that are trying to create art, that are anybody that's a writer out there that's stifled in your ideas, stop trying to create something new. Try to just do the same thing as something that's already been done before and do it in your own voice. Just rewrite it the way that you see it from your own eyes. And I honestly think that this is the way that humanity progresses in artistic terms, and hopefully we can all just keep moving forward. I mean, if a massive company like Disney is making money from it, that's one thing, but also it's fun because at this point Star Wars has moved into the mythical realm. So we all have so many attachments to somebody like Lando Calrissian, somebody like Han Solo, somebody like Princess Leia. Like seeing somebody else's take on these ideas, even if they're adapting of what other people have shown us before, is fun. It's okay, because honestly, that's based on the whole mythical story cycle, the Joseph Campbell shit before. None of that was original.
Joseph Campbell.
Go. I know that's cheesy AF, but
No, it's so accurate. It is so accurate.
That's
So, like,
the thing. I'm saying don't be afraid to steal. If you're an artist out there, steal.
Yeah.
Like this is how we create new things, because your voice will come into it once you've
I literally have that book. I'm going to find it. And you should, anyone who wants to write a script that is an action script, which is the most oh, there it is. Oh, that's my guy. What? Yeah. Okay. So, most accurately, any action movie, movies in general, this is the same formula, but like an action movie, specifically Star Wars, Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. Buy the book, read the book. You write a fucking awesome script. It's a very, very specific guide on how to do it well. And if you read that book, it's going to fuck you, because every movie you watch, you're going to be like, oh, there's the rebirth, there's the baptism, all of the things now.
It's
and it's
older than cinema is the thing. It's older
kind of amazing.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing, but
the hero's journey. It's massive. It's a massive.
Anyone who went to school for film studied this book. It's amazing. It's amazingly accurate. And when I was like reading it, I'm like, oh, whatever. And then I watch movies and I'm like, oh my God, it's like literally 100% fucking accurate.
Every time.
And any film, like Dogma, hits every fucking point. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be an action movie, but action movies particularly follow this route so very specifically. Then like there's another type of movie which is where there's no redemption, which is something like Pulp Fiction or Magnolia, like something like that. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a very formulaic way to go about writing a movie. And if you do your research and you pay attention to those things, and then also bring your own, the only thing that you can bring yourself is your own originality, your own nuance. Like no one else has what you have inside of you, so like that is what we need in Hollywood. That is what everyone needs, instead of recycling the same shit over and fucking over again. It's like enough already. Honestly, Mike, I agree with everything you said. I think you hit the nail on the fucking head. And I'm going to pass the mic to Sean. That was fucking great.
Before I move on, so it sounds like Sabrina and Mike want a reboot of Star Wars.
No,
that's what it sounds like.
The only thing better than the hero's journey is the hero's bisque, the hero's noodle soup. I don't know.
Oh, I mentioned the bisque.
The soup with 1,000 flavors. How about that? That's a deeper cut.
That's fucking awesome. I literally I don't know. I feel like that book is really quintessential to anyone who wants to be a screenwriter. Like you have to read that book. You have to.
But again, so you're both saying that, you take the hero's journey route and you take a story and make it your own. So you're saying that you would love to see Matthew Vaughn take Star Wars.
That is not.
Questions on the chat. Hold on. There's questions in the chat I want to address fast too. I want to address the chat too. Is that the chat was saying too that is this a reboot? Yes, it would be a reboot of the originals for the trilogy, the original trilogy. So the very first New Hope, rebooting it, restarting it, making it a new thing. And I love what Queen was saying too out in the chat about how we could get Galactus and cross Star Wars and Marvel. We should do that shit all day.
The Skrulls, I think
the Skrulls say they should be doing that right now.
I don't know that.
Like,
I really don't hear
Sean over there.
Sean's he's biting the bullet right here. But before we go to Sean, so you both think that the hero journey is that you're saying take an idea that's been done a million times and make it your own.
You're misinterpreting it because it's still part of Star Wars. What Mike is saying, I think, and what I'm definitely saying is make your own universe. Don't make it Star Wars. Don't make it Marvel. Make it your own. Like again, I don't know how many times I've ever referenced this. Everything, everywhere, all at fucking once. It was an amazing, bizarre, multiverse fucking phenomenon. It's a fantastic movie. It won all the fucking Oscars. Like, do something like that. Don't do this. Don't recycle this. Do your version of this. Whatever that may be. Do your version of this. Don't do this.
Yeah. I don't think that Mark Hamill would like it.
It's not true.
Also, I can see the Luke from Mark Hamill.
No. So Sean, how do you feel about this conversation right now? Do you want to see? I mean, this is all again, like I said before, we don't really know if this would ever happen. Kathleen Kennedy said before she doesn't want to touch it, but Matthew Vaughn's a very influential director. Maybe he would get his way and they reboot it. What do you think? Do you think this is a possibility, or do you think that they should just leave this IP-ness where it's at and keep growing off that IP-ness until they get where they need to be?
Keep growing.
Wow, that's a great question, Brian.
Do you think this IP should keep growing?
I feel like they are exploring a lot of the corners of the Star Wars universe, and we're just barely scratching the surface of the potential for interesting stories still tied to Star Wars and what makes a Star Wars a Star Wars. Like Andor was so polarizing because it didn't feature a lot of this Force nonsense and all that kind of shit. Even though it was very subtly kind of used, but it still was that, that oppression. You felt that, right? Like you wanted to cheer for the good guys and, be afraid a little bit of the bad guys. So no, I don't want to see a rehash. I do not want to see a reboot of the original trilogy. I don't want to see a reboot of any of these movies.
Amen.
Just because I feel like there are still a lot of stories left to tell. Again, what is it like doing your taxes on Tatooine, right? Well, we don't know.
You're consistent. You're consistent with that query, Sean.
I have to be. I have to be because no one else is, right? This is my burden to carry and all that kind of shit. But no, like, I was very when Rebel Moon, right? A few months ago, we talked about Rebel Moon coming out, and you you felt the fact that this could live or kind of fit into a Star Wars world, and he didn't do that. And I think we're gonna still get something that is amazing and still out there. And it's like, we need to give creators and directors chances to do things that are not tied to what's expected. Stop looking at franchises. Stop looking at an idea or a property as a potential for a franchise. There's nothing wrong with one great movie being what that is and allowing the audience to kind of fill in the holes or fill in the gaps themselves. And if you still want to, down the line, kind of explore different stories, by all means, I would love to get a District 9 follow-up. I don't think we're ever going to get that. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Let's move on to the other show, Sean. Let's just do that now. Jesus.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Here we go.
There's a lot of people there. Again, everyone. It's very, it's known. The Star Wars, you can see them. It's cross-generational. Everyone loves it. Don't reboot it. Do something new, do something original that
Let it be.
kind of pays homage in some way, or perhaps people can draw natural similarities. But for God's sakes, please just do something new. Do something fucking new. Take a
Yeah.
chance.
I don't agree.
Yeah, do something new. I agree with you, Sean. And the thing is, they always look at these like, oh, we made money before, we can do it again. And then, I don't think Matthew Vaughn's coming from that perspective. I just think that he's like, he doesn't like where they've been going with this. And he just thinks that you start over because he loves the Skywalkers. He's probably a big fan of the old franchise, and he wants that to be what it's all about. But we don't always need Skywalkers. I've been trying to get away from that too. So we explore the universe and explore the galaxy. And there's more people out there. I like that idea. There've been a lot in the chat about the Flash too.
Yep.
But the opening scroll too, they stole it from that
Or
too.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon, yeah, Flash Gordon. The football one. Yeah, the football one. Football star that's going to save the universe. Flash. Oh. Yeah, it's so good. It's such a great movie. And Queen fucking killed it. I wish you had that. It'd be great. I love that movie, and I think that's what happens. People steal things from everybody else. Like Mike was saying, like take inspiration from people, and then build off that and make it something different and original, and find your way.
If I can steal you for one moment, I do wonder if Sean has special insight into this, because I think I've seen it before in terms of the comic book world seems to presage the cinematic world, just like with about 5% of the budget. I think we've seen it happen many times before, because they've got the same kind of situation where a publisher is interacting directly with a cohort that is absorbing and is interacting with them. That's interacting with the stories that they're putting out. Sean, sorry, you're making a fucking face at me. I can't think of the appropriate words.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm just saying that I think that the comic book world may be just earlier than fucking looking through your fingers at me, like just a little bit early, and in a smaller scope so we may see it played out again on a grander scale in the cinematic universe where the Disney money is at. You knew what I was saying.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I agree. I think comic books and even novels, right? For a long time before we had the prequel trilogy or Rey Star Wars, before we had her trilogy, all we had were the books, all we had were the games, all we had were the comics to kind of fill in and just kind of fill that need and that itch for Star Wars. And they did such a good job of it because that also captured the attention of a generation that perhaps didn't grow up with that original trilogy. And the fact that they're now getting the chance to see characters that they grew up with, interpreted in this way, like there's still plenty of that content out there, plenty of that stuff in the Star Wars realm.
So Sean, is that the lesson that you want the Star Wars cinematic universe to learn? If you see my question there,
I don't.
Oh, fuck, I'm fucked.
No, you're good. You're great.
No, I'm not even
Doing great, Mike. You're doing great.
Yeah.
But somebody else has got itch to scratch and wants to bring a franchise back is Blumhouse Productions, because there's a Spawn reboot coming, everybody.
Oh,
and
no.
We've been waiting to talk about this. We've had conversations about Spawn multiple times in this program, and I saw this, and it's been in active development for a long freaking time. I mean, since 2007, when they decided that they weren't going to do a sequel to the 1997 version, they were like, well, let's just work on this. Let's reboot this. Let's make this happen. Because the creator, McFarlane, was like, I want to make a sequel. Well, I can't make a sequel. Let me reboot it. So 2007, decided they were going to start working on it. It went from this studio to that production. Originally, he was going to direct it before, but then he kind of dropped out. Now he's looking for somebody else to direct it. Jeremy Renner signed on at one point to actually play Twitch Williams in it. We're not really sure if he's going to come back or if he's going to do it or not at this point, because it's changed hands so many times. But at this point, Jamie Foxx is attached to this, and Jamie Foxx has been attached since 2018. Now, in 2017, they went to Blumhouse Productions, and that's when Jason Blum took it over, and he is the person that's like spearheading the whole thing, and he's trying to make it happen. So if he's about it, then I hope it happens. Todd McFarlane, the creator, of course, wants this to happen, but Blumhouse really is the people making it, pushing it forward. I mean, 2018 was the last time they had big news before now, but of course we had COVID, things shut down, other productions happened. We didn't have any opportunity for a Spawn to move forward. And now he said in a recent interview, Blumhouse was talking about this. Bloom was talking. He was like, Jason Blum said, he's been working on Exorcist Believer, and he's doing press for that. And he said, I got to tell you right now, 2025 is when Spawn is going to come out. 2025. He put it out there. He goes, and he said it twice. I stand by that. I stand by that. So he's saying by 2025, you're going to get Jamie Foxx being your Spawn. We don't know anybody else besides Jeremy Renner. Maybe he's still attached, but not sure at this point. But Spawn is happening. And you're talking about a franchise that's outside of DC, outside of Marvel. And the 97 version was just graphic. I think if it would have came out now, I think it would have done a lot better than back in 97. I just feel like it was just so out there and obscure, but like dark. Like it would have fit in with the boys maybe a little bit more too. And that whole like dark superhero universe, but it just didn't work back then. And now they're getting an opportunity to make it happen, which I guess for Blumhouse, they're like, we're going to bring that Blumhouse kind of like vibe to it. Yeah, they said it's going to feel like a Blumhouse production. It's going to feel like an edgy superhero movie you've never seen before. And Jason Blum's like, I'm going to make this happen for sure because I can't wait to do this. He's got the rights. So like, why would you not? Sabrina, we've talked about this multiple times.
Oh, wow.
Do you think we should be doing a Spawn reboot at this point? Or do you think that maybe, they tried in 97, maybe they just let it live back then? But, and Jamie Foxx has moved on. He's doing Marvel stuff too. But do you think this could work with Jamie Foxx?
I don't know. Like, this is very interesting to me because Nick and I at work just had a conversation about this movie not that long ago. And John Leguizamo, this movie was so awful. It was just, I mean, it's one of those movies that you watch and you're like, that definitely doesn't hold
Special
up.
effects are great.
Fuck you, special effects are great for like 1912. Like, what are you even talking about? It was ridiculous. This is fucking brutal. It is so bad. It is so fucking bad. John Leguizamo, that poor fucker, he was like complaining about how he had like be like hunched over and like walking. It was just like this whole fucking thing, which is fine. Whatever. Also, very nice man. Nothing against you, John Leguizamo. I just don't. I don't think that anyone needs any more of this. I really don't. I do love Blumhouse. So good. But again, like, let's just toggle back like 2 seconds to where we said, have your own fucking ideas, do your own fucking thing. Like, why are we making this? It was just so subpar, and I don't want any more of it. I just don't. I really don't. Like, if you want to do something like this, like pick another comic, do this, just do something else, Blumhouse. Like do another situation, like adapt something else. Like, why are you doing this? And there is some story that Nick told me that I wish I could remember. It's something that he'd eat some pizza with like something on it. Like, does anybody remember? Is anyone familiar with this movie? John Leguizamo's character.
I did play.
He had to eat like a pizza with something on it, and like literally actually threw up afterwards because it was so fucking disgusting. So,
that's
no, thank you. That's why I have for you. No, thank you. I'm gonna hard pass on this.
I just think that it's a world we're looking for. People are, superhero movies are doing so well.
I'm in a world where people are looking for new, fresh shit that doesn't have to do with reused IPness all the time. Like, that's what the world I'm looking for.
It's a fresh take on a superhero project that's outside the realms of MCU.
Is it a fresh take? No, it's a reused tampon. Is what it is.
It could be. You can take it that route. Oh, it was a pizza with maggots. Thank you, Richard Tracy. Appreciate that.
Nailed it. Thank you, Richard Tracy.
Nasty. Sean, what do you think? Do you agree with Sabrina that we should not be having a Spawn franchise come forward with Jamie Foxx, or do you think that he is the right man for the right time, for the right job,
Jamie Foxx,
for the right
to be clear.
superhero in your anti-hero Spawn?
I don't know about Jamie Foxx being Spawn. Let's be honest. I feel like Spawn itself, the comic series, the character, I don't know if it should be somebody as high profile as Jamie Foxx. I think Michael Jai White, who did the original,
nice.
He did the best he could with it. It was, definitely
the writing was shit.
The writing was shit. The budget certainly fucked them because it looked like Mortal Kombat 1 when they went to hell. That was not good. But no, I would love to see Spawn come back to the cinematic world because there's just again, like Star Wars, like Marvel Comics, there's just a lot of backstory there. There's a lot of good stuff. characters that we never got to see, even teased in this kind of thing, within the first movie. Like, yeah, I think doing it now with the technology that it is today, I think it'd be great. I think it'd be cool to see the character treated appropriately and given proper credence to the creator. So yeah, go for it.
And Todd wants to make it happen so bad. I mean, the idea is there. It's like he just hasn't been able to get the right studio. And now that he has a studio behind it, you would think that this is the right time. But I mean, it's been a long time. It says 2007, I would say he's been trying to reboot this. And I mean, 2017 is when it finally got some motion, and it's changed. The script's changed. He did the first draft, and then it's changed. Like multiple writers have come in and adapted it. So who even knows what we're going to get when we get it? It would be nice, like Queen was saying, to be closer to the comics. I think that would be awesome. Like make it more appropriate for the fans out there that want to see this, because there are fans that do want to see this, and they're probably upset that movie came out in '97. It was nothing what they expected it to be. And that'd be great if we actually had that, Mike.
But there's so many people that like actually love that movie. It's like a cult classic situation. But like I was just like, no, like for me, no. Like other people like are super into it. Like I think, it could fly. It probably will fly. I'm just like, I just want new shit. I want other people to be like, fucking just given a chance. I want other people to
What's up, Queen?
Be able to like have their scripts read, their scripts produced. Like it's just like everyone's just reusing everything, and it just makes it like easier. It just, I don't know. It just, I feel like it would just be a better world for all of us, not just in Hollywood, but everyone who's viewing movies and shit, like to be able to like experience new things. Like how many Star Wars do we need? How many fucking Marvel shits do we need? How many DC? Like it just let's get some new ideas out there. Let's get some writers.
We don't want
fucking
that.
I want that. And I think the viewers want that. I really do. I really fucking do. Like, I get it. Like, and I'm excited for things that are, in the same universe or whatever sometimes. But like a lot of times I'm like, it's fucking annoying. I want to be like, I hate to fucking beat a dead horse, but Everything Everywhere All at Once. Everyone was like, what the fuck is this nonsense? And it was
amazing.
Such a great fucking film.
Killing it. Michelle Yeoh,
A24 is amazing, but now they're kind of getting like a little bit fucking like a little like corporate bullshit. Like, I mean, they're doing everything that happens, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Goddamn it, A24, don't do it.
They're buying podcasts up now. That's what A24s do. They're gonna do more TV. They're doing a lot of projects. So we talk about that money. You wouldn't even expect like that what's that big HBO Euphoria is done by A24. It's like some shows you'd be surprised they're doing.
No, because they're not afraid to do fucking weird shit. They're not afraid to do fucked up shit. They're not afraid to, like, there's no subject untouched for them, which like something like Disney would never do anything like fucking Euphoria. You know what I mean? Like, so there's this whole fucking thing where did you see the mouse?
I heard Disney.
I heard it. I'm just saying it's just I don't know. I want more people to be able to hang their hat on something. And so like young writers who are fucking doing a great job and no one wants to fucking take their script on because they're too busy reusing the same IP-ness all the fucking time. Like just give it a fucking shot. Yes. Yeah. Woo!
Michael. Mike, do you hang your hat on a Spawn reboot? Do you want to see this?
No,
is that something that you want, Michael Casey? Or do you think that, again, this is one of those projects that maybe they shouldn't have touched? It didn't work the first time. Can it work the second time?
It was obnoxious for me to drop a hee in there where it was a
no, it was hilarious. It was
great. It was trying to be a Disney, like it was like a little crossover event, like in my miniature that I was trying to do. What I'm wondering is if Sean recalls this mid-90s event where Todd McFarlane, as a creator of Spawn, and honestly, the way that I recall it, like, was in some ways the inventor of the standee plastic epoxy settee for your house. Like fucking he keeps making it, you guys in the chat can't see this. Sean keeps making these goddamn faces at me.
I'm not making any faces. What are you talking about?
I'm trying the best that I can, Sean. What I'm saying is that I think that it appears to me, and this is me, allegedly, Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn, was sucked deep up within his own ass.
Absolutely. Well,
And he was very pleased that that there was that Disney, not Disney, but whatever money corporations threw money at him that said like, oh, this is some edgy mid-90s shit that we want to proliferate because he's going to be. We saw with the Max too. How about that, Sean? I can name check the Max at you a little
keep
bit.
going, buddy.
Which I think is some just some MTV kind of situation, and I don't know.
Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux.
Oh,
100%.
hey, word up,
great.
word up.
Liquid TV, right?
Liquid TV was great.
Baby.
What was it? It was like, and on the one hand, it was great because they were giving money to young people in their 20s that had no idea what they were doing, which always do that. What you got, Sean?
No, it was a speculator boom too, right? Like they were realizing, hey, there's a chance to everyone in their grandmother was getting something optioned into the next big thing and the next big thing. And yes, Todd McFarlane kind of took a little too far.
This is a takeoff because of Batman, you think, or what?
Oh yeah, I mean Batman certainly didn't help. The Joel Schumacher of it all. That kind of polluted it and certainly kind of tamped down expectations and slowed things up for a bit, and then it had to Nolan had to come in and rescue it a little bit, and then the Raimi Spider-Mans kind of ushered in that new era, and then we have the MCU. But yeah, like back in the day when they were just throwing shit against the wall, anyone that wasn't as clean cut as Superman almost got their own movie, almost got their own TV show. I still remember, it was Ultraverse for a long time, and there was a hero there where it was like a kid could say a magic word and turn into this big roided out guy. And that was given that something.
Sounds like what?
No.
They just had a movie, Shaka Khan. What the fuck was it?
Shaka Khan?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Okay.
What?
Okay. Anyway.
Shaka Khan. Anyways, Mike, yeah.
Anyway, Mike. No, like I agree with you because a lot of what was going on at that time in the movies and properties being kind of like
Shazam. Shazam is the fucking word I was looking for.
There you go, then.
Thank you, not Shaka Khan.
Not Shaka Khan, Shazam. Like it ruined comics for a while too because they just flooded the market with new characters and bullshit that no one asked for and no one was paying attention to quality. And that's what sunk that too. And Spawn didn't help. That movie certainly didn't help. But Spawn is about to celebrate 300 issues, which is unheard of for a comic starting back then.
They're still publishing.
That's wild.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why there's this push too,
Who is buying that? Who is buying that title? What kind of like metalheads like?
Dude,
somebody. People love it.
Different. It's not the Spawn of the 90s anymore. And I think
Birdman was great.
Like Spawn has been through a lot of iterations. There's a lot of different there's an entire, Spawn that's a Wild West gunslinger. Like there's all these kind of different things that you could do with Spawn. So I'm excited to see that. I do want to say one thing going back to Star Wars, if this is okay, Brian.
Yeah.
You can say
Oh
no.
boy.
Brian, you're not in control anymore, Brian.
I think Sabrina spelled something
now.
Oh no, Sabrina.
Yeah, whoopsie.
You get your computer?
Nope.
Well,
My
that's
computer's
good.
on a palace, so that's really great for me. It's very unfortunate, though. Okay. Carry on.
Get into the Star Wars there. Get into Star Wars. What do we got before we move
I
on?
would say this: if anyone really wants to see a Star Wars comic series that was trying to distance itself as much as you could from what was established, check out a series called Star Wars Legacy. It was published beginning in 2007, and I believe it ran until 2012, 2013. And I think there's about 3 or 4 kind of editions of that book. But it was characters. It was touted as Star Wars, but 125 years in the future of the galaxy, right? So like everyone you knew and loved from these movies weren't going to be there. The last vestiges of what the rebellion versus the the Empire was going to look like. Granted, this came out before we have the new trilogy, so you're not going to see a Finn, or you're not going to see a Poe Dameron and all that kind of shit. So Star Wars Legacy, check it out. Let me know what you think. But I thought it was a brilliant idea in terms of just jumping ahead so that someone else could kind of see, and start ushering in, a new era for Star Wars, which I think is great. I do remember Wildcats, Queen.
I remember Wildcats.
Ultraverse, Richard.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ultraverse, yeah.
I did mention that. Darkman is a TV show. There you go.
I'm sorry, Mike. Can you take over the chat? I have to clean this fucking thing.
Oh yeah. Happy to.
All right.
But there was also, Richard Tracy also said about Dick Tracy. He wants a Dick Tracy reboot. Well, Warren Beatty actually owns the rights to that, and he just released, I think it was like earlier this year, he released a little trailer where he was again being Dick Tracy because he wants to keep the rights, and so he has to keep doing little things every once in a while so he can keep the rights to the project, even though he's not going to do that movie.
Bail Bondsman commercials?
Yeah, it was a weird.
He released a video. It's not that.
It was some kind of weird thing. It was a weird thing.
Don't talk shit about Richard Tracy.
What about this one, Sean? Gen 13. How do you feel
I
about
remember
that
Gen 13. Do I have the Gen 13 crossover with Teen Titans or X-Men, whatever one it was?
We're gonna get demonetized if we talk about Gen 13.
All right,
well, I just feel like, and Richard Tracy, we would love to see a new Dick Tracy movie. That'd be great. I would be awesome if they actually did it. But Warren Beatty's holding on to it for now. Get someone new in there, make something good, do something different, because that always goes a long way. And I mean, for this, though, honestly, Spawn 97 was a long time ago, and maybe it'll work nowadays, maybe it won't work. I really don't know. And it's like the same question comes about is, will it work with Jonathan Majors being Kang anymore? That's another big question going around these days, because, oh shit, what just happened? You guys hear me still?
Still here, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Oh, my computer's fine. I swear something crazy just happened, because last time all the stuff went off, my computer went off.
We can hear you. Keep going.
Good. So Jonathan Majors, I was saying, is he going to be Kang still? Will that work? Well, Jonathan Majors just went to court, and a lot of news is coming out from that. It's not good news for Jonathan Majors, I don't think. And now we do our featured story of the night. Come on. All right, everybody. I want to talk about Jonathan Majors for 1 second here. Well, of course, a little bit more than 1 second, because Jonathan Majors went to court today, and the news came out. I know a lot of people online have been like, and I get it, it's allegations. We don't really know what happened until we get all the evidence, and I say that right away going up front here about this. But so it came out, and he's going to trial. So if you haven't heard this yet, he's going to trial. Now, he's going to trial on November 29th for domestic abuse against his girlfriend at the time, Grace. And at the time, everyone said, well, his defense was saying, oh no, it's fine. Like, the taxi cab driver is going to be, he's going to be there. They got footage from the taxi cab. He's going to be a witness to be like, this didn't happen. There's a club footage out there about her, and she's dancing afterwards. But now,
God forbid.
But they said that, it'll be all dropped today. It's all going to be dropped today. The DA said yesterday, there's no way we're going to drop this, because there's more information, discovery information that happened in London in 2022 that actually will change the whole course of this case. Now, the defense said they don't want to get this out there. They do not want this information to come out there. They want to seal this information and keep it out of the public, because they're saying if this information gets out, it will change the way that the actual jury will portray him. It will change his narrative in the media, and it will not give him a fair trial. So, what is the information? Well, there's not much known about it, but there are medical records from the United Kingdom that have photographs taken, medical providers, and correspondence with the police about an incident that happened in September of 2022 when Jonathan Majors was shooting for Loki. When he was sitting there for Loki, he's shooting for Loki, and apparently something went down. I think it's between his girlfriend at the time, Grace, and him. So the idea is he probably abused her in September of 2022, and then he's abused her again in March of 2023. Those are the allegations coming forward. Allegedly, those are the allegations. So that information has been sealed, though, that the court said they will not let it out there. They're going to hold it back. Now, if the media want that information, they can request it, and then the court may release the information before his court date. But the defense is saying it could actually affect the whole trial. And that's the whole thing to me. It's like, is it going to be like an Amber Heard thing, or what's it going to be? I don't really know what's happening. It's all allegedly. But I'll tell you one thing. The taxi cab driver, he said that this statement that came out from him is not his statement. It's not real. He never said any of that stuff. His video footage of the text clip, it's not real. It doesn't exist. All these women that came forward to tell Jonathan Majors was such a good guy, all the women that went to him, and only like one of them said that she actually gave that statement. The rest of they didn't want that stuff out, that it's not them. That's not their voice. So people are saying around the internet that maybe his defense is, kind of putting this persona out there, putting information out there that's not actually real to make people feel good about him and then drop the case. I don't know. But these allegations of something happening in the UK when he was shooting Loki is not good. The fact that, they're saying that the prosecution says they have 5 or 6 women who also said they've had bad experience with him, part of this discovery. What's this going to do for Marvel? What's this going to do for Jonathan Majors? They said this will all be dropped today, and it's definitely not dropped today. A lot of information about it. And it's like, the whole thing too, they gave more information about how, the text message came through. He grabbed her. She tried to run away. He pulled her back in the cab. Is all this true? Did he abuse her back in September? We don't really know yet. We have to wait for the information to come forward. But the defense also wanted to charge her for domestic violence. And the court said, there's no way. We're not going to do that. And back in September, this was put up there and they said, we're not going to do it. So we're going to find out more in November. But my idea is my question I should say out there is, will this affect Marvel? Is Marvel upset right now? Are they shitting their pants right now? This information coming out there because it's not good PR. Regardless if it's true or it's not true, they're not. It's not good for Marvel. It's not good for Loki right now. That's airing on Disney Plus. It's not good for all of the cinematic future because he's a big part of it. We all know how big of a part Jonathan Majors' character is. What do we think about this, Sean? I'm gonna go to you first. Do you think that this will monumentally change how Marvel looks at everything, or do you think they're just going to stay quiet and wait till November? Because this seems pretty damaging, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is. In my eyes, it is why I think they hedged their bets in the promotion of Loki. It's why Jonathan Majors was absent from a lot of the promotions that went on here. It's why he's considered a special guest star and not a main person of Loki. I think it's them kind of saying, hey, this might not happen. He's obviously, regardless of what happens here, I'm waiting to see how the trial goes, but I can't imagine with the amount of stories that I've been told and all this kind of stuff, it just doesn't seem like he's going to continue in the MCU after this. I would consider Marvel doing the right thing here with a recast. I think it'd be easy to do. He did fine in Ant-Man. He did fine in Loki, but I wouldn't want to associate or work with someone like that. So I'm not sure. I think Marvel will likely adjust their plans, or again, we'll get what we want, which is Denzel Washington being Kang.
It's an easy thing.
I think recasting it and making it, just kind of clarify, calling it out like it's a variant thing. It can be as easy as a swap out like Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2. There's precedent for this happening in MCU before. But there's one thing we've learned about Mickey Mouse, and Brian, go ahead, do your
No.
you don't fuck with the mouse's money, all right?
No.
And so he's gonna get he'll likely get removed, and they'll make amends any way they can, and we'll all just move on with Denzel Washington Kang.
I would be about that.
Yeah.
and also, like Queen was saying too, you do a lady Kang too. They already have a lady version of Loki. They could do something like that too. That could be a possibility. Yeah. Or you just age them up, and there's a lot of options.
The woman who is playing Rowena.
Regina?
Ravina, whatever Slayer. She's doing a fantastic
Blade
job
Slayer.
too.
Blood Slayer?
Oh, I hate her.
It's not Blood Slayer. No, what?
Renslayer. Fuckers.
How come I'm the one with the fucking correct information on this? We've gone into a fucked up timeline here.
We also have the correct information, student. You dress up one day and you think you're the best.
Renslayer, you pieces of shit. Okay.
Fine. But I hadn't considered that until I just read Rachel's comment. I actually think it wouldn't be a bad idea.
It was actually Queen that suggested it. Mm-hmm. There you go. Boom. I'll put that one up.
Rachel, my bad. Okay. Yeah.
Queen Gonzona with the hot take.
Yeah. Because this is, I mean, honestly, November 29th, it's not that far away, but it just seems like there's more and more evidence stacking up. And the fact that they try to get this dropped multiple times, regardless, it's
on dumb grounds, by the way.
It's just a hairy situation for Marvel. And people are getting a little quiet online right now about this because this information comes out. You know, people get a little quiet because we really don't know until you hear all the facts. And if there's multiple occasions, Sabrina, if there's multiple occasions, it does come out. This UK thing, we don't know what the police report is, but the police report was hidden, it was sealed, and no one knew about it. And the prosecution found out about it, and they asked for the information to come to them. So if that information ties into being like the same person was abused by him, I feel like that's gonna really kill his case. And they said it's damning. They said that the defense said this is damning. That's why they don't want it out there, because we have no idea. But Sabrina, if it's so damning, do you think that, regardless if that's it or it's not that, if it's that damning, do you think that if you're Marvel, do you have to start thinking about maybe we do recast, maybe we start having those meetings and start throwing some names around? Or do you think they've already had those discussions?
I'm sure they have had those discussions. They're definitely, especially with the strike and everything, they probably have a lot of time on their fucking hands. So I'm sure they have definitely had those discussions, and they probably do have a pretty solid plan B at this point, I would think. To go back in the situation that we're in, not possible. You couldn't recast him and just not release Loki. Like, it's just unfortunately not an option for them, you know? As far as Jonathan Majors is concerned, there is a lot of talk, not that it means that it's true, but like when this came out, there were like many other people who came forward, and like other people were like, oh, he's known in the theater community in New York as being this way, and blah, 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 and this and that. Like, so there was a lot more like, you know, fodder about what this person actually is as a human being, as opposed to, you know, conjecture, you know? So I feel like there is a weird, I mean, again, as Brian said, innocent till proven guilty.
Allegedly,
like, I don't
allegedly.
know. I have no idea. But at the same time, like, it does seem like it is a rope that is just unraveling thread by thread. So, I don't think he is going to say, Kang. And the beauty of Marvel, like Queen and other people have said, like, it's a multiverse. How many different characters? Look at Loki. Look at Loki. Just look at Loki. Like, there were 15 people that played Loki in that series in the first season.
Yeah.
So you can very easily have a different gang. For some reason, though, in that same series, they have He Who Remains and like the Council of Kangs, and they are all exactly him, which I find very strange and not too.
Like the Spider-Man thing, you're saying all Spider-Man are different.
They reaffirmed it just now, though, with episode 3, though, which is
because
the crazy thing. I was not
they fucking shot it.
that.
And what are you going to shoot something during a writer's strike and an actor's strike like that? What are they going to do?
Yeah,
they're like, we're just going to roll with this. They had to. They did. But first season, they also had the Council of Kings. They also spoke about it. They also showed the statues. They all so it was still a thing then, before any of this shit happened. So like, I feel like now with the second season, you can't make any of those adjustments, unfortunately, because of the situation that Hollywood is in. However, like, if they would have first season gone about having to, and at the end of Batman, there were 100 different Kangs, but they were all fucking him.
Yeah.
They should have had other people being him. Because Loki, there's old Loki, there's young Loki, there's alligator Loki. Idea. There's, you know what I mean? Like, there are so many different Lokis. Like, why didn't we do that with Kang? I'm saying alligator, crocodile, whatever the fuck, Sean. Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
No, it's
fucking, you know, it's like rein it in. So yeah, I feel like they perpetuated him as that person so much. And then at the end of Batman and the post-credit scene where like, it's like 1 billion of him. Like, I feel like that was their mistake, in my opinion. Like, they should have had other versions of him, and it would have been easier to make the switch, but I still don't think it's going to be hard to make the switch. And also, like, I mean, he's a good actor, don't get me wrong. Like, that there's that San Francisco movie that he did. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry, but San Francisco is in the name, so don't get mad at me. He was spectacular. He was very good in that Lovecraft series. You know, he's a great actor. I don't love him as Kang, to be perfectly honest with you. I just don't. I never have. but other people do. It's not a flavor that I enjoyed, unfortunately. So I've always been for recasting him. Now, very, very, very much so. And I love what Queen said and that Rachel reaffirmed. A fucking woman king, great. We've been hashtagging Denzel Washington for king for a very long time on this show, and I'm still for that. But I am down with a lady king, and I'm going to find an amazing person in my brain.
There's no reason not to. There's zero reason not to have a great lady king,
right,
for sure.
She should be there anyways. Mike, do you think that, like we're talking about right now, recasting, regardless of the allegations, recasting.
I love
that. Do you see anybody else playing this?
Irrespective of the allegations, this is an interesting story. Totally outside of the realm
Totally
of the fact
off
that
the
there are
nothing to do with that at all.
allegations that are evolving. Like, it's still something worth commenting on.
If you had your druthers, would you recast him with somebody else? You like the Lady King dynamic, then that could be good. And do you think that Marvel really is probably thinking about this at this point? Because it's getting deeper down the rabbit hole for this whole investigation.
Let me try to be respectful right off the bat. Who would I cast if I was casting a Lady King?
That's tough.
It's tough.
That's a great question. Like, there's plenty of incredible actresses out there that would be
Meryl Streep.
Oh my god! I hate you so much.
Who played Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica? She hasn't had a lot of great.
Zendaya is too young.
Let me Zendaya. There you go. Let me give it to her. What's interesting to me is that
Viola Davis.
Oh,
who was that?
Viola Davis.
But she's like in the DC stuff too, isn't she?
Well, whatever. They do that. They do crossovers.
Yeah.
They do crossovers.
Not that often.
Often enough. Rachel likes it.
What surprises me is that we've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with you guys a half a dozen times, and that's not. I'm not even with you guys all the time. So that means we've had this conversation even more than that. Like I was super surprised to see the third episode of Loki the other day, and Victor Timely was right there. Like, he just showed up. Like, am I the only person that was surprised to see, like, oh, this seems like Disney is making a decision here? Like,
no, that was the end scene of fucking Ant-Man. That's why they had to do that. That was the end scene of Ant-Man was right. Owen Wilson and Loki. Okay. Was his name? Was his real name?
Right, they're referencing it. Yeah.
That guy.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston. They saw him being like that. That was how they tied in Ant-Man. That's how they tie in the movies to the thing.
So do you expect that he's not going to be continuing to be present in further in season 2 of?
I mean, it depends, like, how it ends. It depends on how it ends, how they can spin it. Until we see the last episode, we can't conject like how that would happen. Honestly,
him and Ms. Time. What's her name? TikTok.
Oh,
TikTok. What is it?
Strong.
Yeah, Miss Minutes. She's getting her sexy on now, isn't she?
Yeah, they were. Getting,
thank you, Rachel and Jr. I will be Lady King all day.
It was making me like.
Miss Minutes is just getting there, you know.
She was all blushing. She's like, "Why? I could have been your girl." And I'm like, "Damn, Tara Strong, rein it in." It was a lot.
I don't feel comfortable putting this on the internet. My feelings. It's okay.
It's a lot, right?
It was a surprise to me. So, like, just basically based on the fact that there's been a lot of heat behind Jonathan Majors. And that we were really in an area where we were not sure what Disney, this massive cash flow, where they were going to go with this. And they allowed they reeled out a little bit more to us, which either to me makes me think that they have some confidence in the way that his legal battles are going to play out, or something else. I don't know. It just
I think it was really too far gone, Mike.
Yeah,
it was too far gone.
Should we not expect these massive flows of cash, like Disney, to have an investment in terms of the moral quality of their actors? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think they had any idea, though.
I haven't thought of what the consequences of a question like that are, honestly.
Kind of true.
It kind of Richard Tracy's kind of right, kind of like an Ezra Miller situation, but I'm not convicted yet or anything. But you're right. But do they have a morality clause?
It's comparable, Richard.
Do they put a morality clause in their contracts? I don't know. It's like I think it's like one of those things, Mike.
That's bottom line.
No, they do. They put a morality clause in every fucking contract. That's a thing. But like at the same time, like no corporation, especially Disney, is not going to put a morality clause in their contract. They can get away if they want to, but he has to be convicted. It can't just be someone accuses you. You know what I mean? It can't just be like I point your finger at you.
I think that they can say like you got enough stank on you. We don't give a fuck. Like if you got the stank, like peace. Like I think that is written. I think you're Sean. You know a lot about marketing. Is that how it's written in the wording? Is that if you have sufficient stank?
Of all the contracts that I've ever written on all the Hollywood level caliber commercials,
Jesus Christ, this fucking guy.
People want to know. They want to say. Actually, I was involved with a contracting for
it's not a joke anymore.
A regional cable provider in the early aughts. I hadn't thought about that actually. But yes, there are morality clauses. Yes, they are highly enforceable, and it's like Mike says, it's even the appearance of potential stank can get you.
Thank you.
Shit.
Stank is not good. Nobody wants to stank.
Keep
that stank ass.
I mean, sure, but my point is, they can absolutely fire him, but it's like, is it worth it to do that? They're waiting for a fucking answer.
Yeah,
they're waiting for what the outcome is, because they have based this whole next phase of their fucking cinematic universe on this fuck. Like, honestly.
Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Ask the algorithm. That's what they're doing.
No, I'm sure, but maybe they're asking AI, which they're not paying anyone for. But it's very weird to me that like they're just like, oh, maybe I'll just wait. Like I don't, like they want to see how it's going to turn out and how the fucking test things proceed, like how people feel about it. They're waiting for what the reception is of Loki, 100%. You know what I mean? And then have people that literally
numbers. It's right, but it's all investment. That's all that the investors care about.
They have test audience watching shit. They ask people, how do they feel about Kang? How do they feel about Jonathan Majors? They do all of these things. Like it's Disney. It's not like it's
they're the machine.
Me. Like I have a nut company that like puts weed on that. I'm like, hey, how do you feel about that? Do you like that? People are like, oh, that's really great. No, I don't. I'm making an arbitrary situation up. Making an arbitrary situation. Like I make chocolate chip cookies laced with weed. So do you like the weed? Do you like the? Okay. You know what, Mike? You're fired. Stop it right now.
You said you make chocolate chip cookies.
I'm just making
and I said, I think that's legit.
We're way out there right now.
Fuck me.
We're way out there. But yeah, the morality clause is Disney's got a problem on their hands. Jonathan Majors is going to trial on November 29th. We're not sure what's going to happen until that's all allegedly, but I feel like there's some bad shit in his future. And there's a lot of news coming out that people are going to start wondering what's true and what's not. Anyways, everybody, we gotta go. We're way over. Way the fuck over. Love you so much for being here as always. Happy fucking hump day. Happy hump day, y'all all. Y'all all. Thank you so much for being here.
That's the definition of extra.
Great.
Wait, did they make fireworks?
Don't give those cookies to any kids. You're right. But yeah, thank you all for being here on Kruse Control. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Hope you had a good time humping it up with us on this Wednesday edition of Kruse Control. Appreciate you so much. Mr. Sean Sutherland, thank you so much for being here on Kruse Control. Thank you so much for being here, man. Happy hump day. Hope you had a great fucking time, and I can't wait to see you again. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, always happy to be here. Thank you very much, chat, for the love. Mike, Sabrina, thank you guys for, just having me here. So yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you as always. Mr. Mike Casey, thank you so much for being here on Kruse Control as always. Happy hump day. Hope you had a great time as well. Thank you for being here, man. Bring in that fucking jacket. I like it. It's smooth like butter, man.
Yeah, thanks, Jake.
Very classy.
That's a very kind.
I gave you fireworks.
Kind one. Here, that's okay. Thank you. This is for you, Jake.
Shop smart. Shop S-smart.
And I promise, Sabrina, I'll reel it in. If you ask me to reel it in, I'll reel it in.
You can reel it in. Just don't do when I'm talking. I'm fine with it.
Take free mic. Sabrina, thank you for being here as always on Kruse Control. Appreciate you, my lovely co-host. Hope you had a great time tonight. Thank you as always. Happy hump day.
Yes, thank you. Happy hump day to all of you. And all of our chat people, thank you so much for coming. You guys are amazing.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much
guys,
for your
honestly.
time here.
I
Thank
love you guys.
Thank you. And Peppy, thank you for being here as well, Peppy. Hope you had a great time on Kruse Control.
Until next time, everyone, have a great hump day. Hey, Chinchilla, thank you for joining us on Kruse Control. I told you, Brian, I'm bringing the people to the show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you as always. Bringing the people, bringing the love, and bringing the subscribers.
Yeah.
But anyways, anybody out there, as always, please like and subscribe. Join our Patreon if you can. And you gotta tell your friends, your family, your uncles, your aunts, your grandmas, your grandpas, great-great-great-grandmas, your great-great-grandpas who had 500 kids. They square root of that shit, had 300 kids more, and then multiply it by 2 chinchillas, 3 dogs, 5 cats, 2 parrots, and a partridge tree. And all of them subscribed, but nobody else did that. It was part of the other branch that came out with fucking marsupilamis with fucking kangaroos and bats and bears and beavers and chinchilla shit. Those fucking things are weird. They're so weird. If you see the chinchilla bears are fucking nuts. But they didn't subscribe. You gotta subscribe. You gotta share, comment, tell your friends, your family, tell everybody, because we gotta get these numbers going. We're at 643 subscribers. Keep those numbers going up. We appreciate you as always for being here on Kruse Control. Love you all. Thank you. Keep coming back every day. Appreciate you. And have a happy hump day. Have a happy hump day. Until Friday, everybody.